Imagine a world where every home can be a hotel and every traveller can feel at home anywhere. This is the world Airbnb created. Since its inception in 2008, Airbnb has revolutionized the way we travel, offering over 5 million listings in more than 100,000 cities worldwide. But as we zoom in on these cities, a pressing question arises. Has Airbnb's success come at a cost to local housing markets? In major cities like New York and London, Airbnb listings surged by thousands in just a few years, significantly altering the landscape of local housing markets. For instance, New York City saw a 47% increase in Airbnb listings from 2016 to 2018 alone. Meanwhile, in popular tourist destinations like Barcelona, Airbnb listings accounted for as much as 20% of total tourist accommodations, intensifying the demand for properties and contributing to rising rents. The explosion of short-term rentals has sparked a heated debate. On one side, Airbnb is hailed for democratizing travel and providing income opportunities for homeowners. On the other, it's criticized for contributing to housing shortages and skyrocketing rents. As we navigate through bustling neighborhoods now dotted with Airbnb for rent signs, we ask, what is the real impact of this global phenomenon on our communities? Is Airbnb a scapegoat for deeper housing issues or a catalyst accelerating them? Stay with us as we delve into the heart of this debate, exploring how a platform designed to bring the world closer together might also be driving our communities apart. Airbnb's journey from a modest idea to a global juggernaut is nothing short of remarkable. In 2008, three friends in San Francisco launched a platform that would turn the hospitality industry on its head. What began as a novel concept quickly spiraled into a global sensation. By 2014, Airbnb had already hit 1 million listings, and this number quadrupled by 2017. Fast forward to today, and Airbnb has become synonymous with travel for millions around the globe. In Paris alone, listings soared to over 60,000, while cities like Tokyo and Rio de Janeiro saw thousands of homes join the platform. This isn't just growth, it's a global movement. But what's behind this explosive growth? It's the diversity and uniqueness of the Airbnb experience. In New York City, travelers can find a chic, urban loft with views of the skyline. In Bali, a beachfront villa offers a serene escape. And for those seeking something truly out of the ordinary, there's a treehouse in Costa Rica or a converted barn in the English countryside. Airbnb's appeal lies in its ability to offer more than just a place to stay. It promises a taste of local life, an experience that traditional hotels often can't match. From living like a local in a Parisian apartment to enjoying the rustic charm of a Tuscan farmhouse, Airbnb has changed the way people think about travel and accommodation. As we look deeper into this, we begin to understand the allure of Airbnb. It's not just about the convenience, it's about connection, experience, and the joy of discovering the world in a more intimate and personal way. However, as we'll see in the upcoming segments, this rapid expansion and the very essence of what makes Airbnb popular have also brought challenges and controversies, especially in the context of local housing markets. In this segment, we confront a stark reality: the unintended consequences of Airbnb's success. While the platform has revolutionized travel, its impact on housing markets is a growing concern. Let's look at the numbers. In New York City, a study found that for every 10% increase in Airbnb listings, there was a 0.42% increase in rents and a 0.76% increase in house prices. Similar trends are observed in cities like Barcelona and San Francisco, where Airbnb's presence is substantial. As we walk through these cities, the evidence is visible on the streets. In neighborhoods popular with tourists, a significant number of properties now cater exclusively to short-term rentals. This shift has a ripple effect. A Harvard Business Review study indicated that a 1% increase in Airbnb listings leads to a 0.018% increase in rents. While these percentages might seem small, they represent significant changes in densely populated urban areas. There are several personal stories of skyrocketing rents and the struggle to find affordable housing. Housing advocates provide further context, explaining how the conversion of long-term rentals into short-term Airbnb properties reduces housing availability, pushing prices up. In San Francisco, for instance, it's estimated that over 10,000 units have been lost to the short-term rental market. experts weigh in, offering a broader perspective. They caution that while Airbnb is a contributing factor, it's not the sole cause of the housing crisis. Economic forces, regulatory environments, and a lack of new housing construction also play critical roles. For example, data from the American Community Survey shows that in many cities, housing construction has not kept pace with population growth, exacerbating the problem. This segment paints a complex picture of Airbnb's role in the housing crisis. It's a story of economic forces, policy decisions, and a platform that, while innovative, has contributed to significant challenges in urban housing markets. As Airbnb's influence grew, so did the attention of city regulators worldwide. In San Francisco, we see the introduction of laws limiting the number of days a property can be rented on Airbnb, aiming to preserve housing for long-term residents. Over in Barcelona, stringent regulations are imposed to curb the overwhelming influx of tourists staying in Airbnb properties, which residents argue is eroding the fabric of their neighborhoods. These regulatory changes are trying to limit short-term rentals. For instance, in New York City, a 2018 law required Airbnb to disclose information about its listings to the city, a move aimed at cracking down on illegal short-term rentals. In Berlin, authorities went even further, initially banning most short-term rentals before relaxing the rules with strict registration requirements. But these regulations are not without controversy. We witness protests and community meetings where opinions are sharply divided. On one side, residents and housing advocates argue for stricter controls to protect affordable housing. On the other, Airbnb hosts and supporters advocate for the economic and cultural benefits the platform brings. These regulatory battles highlight a fundamental tension: how to balance the innovative business model of platforms like Airbnb with the pressing need to maintain affordable and accessible housing for residents. As we conclude this segment, the question remains: are these regulations effective in mitigating the housing crisis, or do they merely scratch the surface of a deeper problem? As we zoom out to view the broader housing landscape, the complexity of the crisis comes into sharp focus. Let's dive into the numbers. Since the 2008 recession, new housing construction has plummeted by nearly 60%, failing to keep up with the growing population. Meanwhile, median home prices have surged, increasing by over 30% in the past decade alone, far outpacing income growth. In city after city, sold signs appear almost as quickly as listings go up, with median days on market at a near-record low of just 21 days. At the same time, the average American home now costs approximately $374,900, putting home ownership out of reach for many. Another issue is the impact of restrictive zoning laws. In many cities, over 75% of residential land is zoned exclusively for single-family homes, limiting density and diversity of housing. An economist highlights that the construction sector has not fully recovered from the 2008 downturn, with a current deficit of over 4 million homes needed to meet demand. Housing policy experts weigh in on the policy side, citing that federal funding for affordable housing has been cut by more than 50% since the 1980s, significantly reducing the stock of affordable options. They also point to the fact that the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment has risen to over $1,200 per month, a nearly 40% increase from a decade ago, further straining affordability. As we conclude this segment, it's evident that the housing crisis is a result of a confluence of factors. Economic trends, regulatory barriers, and policy decisions all intertwined in a complex web. While Airbnb's impact on housing markets is undeniable, it's clear that resolving the broader housing crisis requires a multifaceted approach. Let's explore some of the innovative solutions being proposed and implemented across the globe. First, we look at the construction of modular homes, a faster and often more affordable method of building. These prefabricated units can be assembled quickly, offering a potential solution to the housing supply shortage. For example, recent projects in cities like Seattle have shown that modular construction can reduce building times by up to 50% compared to traditional methods. Next, we turn to community-led housing initiatives. These projects, often driven by non-profits or cooperative groups, focus on creating affordable housing that's managed and owned by the community. In places like Austin, Texas, such initiatives have successfully provided hundreds of affordable units, demonstrating a scalable model for other cities facing similar challenges. Now, let's take a look at the impact of zoning reforms. By allowing for higher density housing and reducing restrictions on building types, cities can significantly increase their housing capacity. For instance, Minneapolis's recent move to end single-family zoning has the potential to increase the city's housing stock by up to 20%. We also examine the role of policy in addressing housing affordability. Increasing investments in affordable housing programs is crucial. Data shows that for every 10% increase in affordable housing funding, cities can reduce their homeless populations by up to 15%. Additionally, implementing rent control measures in high-demand areas can provide immediate relief to residents struggling with soaring rents. It's clear that while there's no silver bullet for the housing crisis, a combination of innovative building techniques, community-driven initiatives, policy reforms, and zoning changes can collectively make a significant impact. The path forward requires collaboration, creativity, and a commitment to ensuring that everyone has access to affordable, quality housing. As we wrap up our journey through the complexities of Airbnb and the housing crisis, we are left with a sense of cautious optimism. The challenges are significant, but so are the opportunities for change. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content.